Harry Potter, the boy who lived, come to die.
They had previously announced, hey, we're making a new Harry Potter series, right? They had previously announced this. That series has now been given a date, or a year, I should say. 2026 is when they are going to debut this new Harry Potter series. Now, a couple things we got to say about this. First of all, David Zaslav keeps saying something along the lines of the following. This is an exact quote from him this last week. Quote, "We've not been shy about our excitement around Harry Potter. The last film was made more than a dozen years ago." End quote. I know he's talking about movies that say Harry Potter in the title, but I just don't understand why he feels the need to completely ignore Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, which debuted in April of 2022.
I mean, I feel like there's a reason. He's definitely a reason he wants to ignore that movie.
And in fact, any Fantastic Beasts movie, he does not seem to want to mention. But yes, theoretically, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, is this series is supposed to basically cover the same time frame as what was covered in the books. Is that correct?
Presumably it's supposed to. I think they said they were going to recast the original trio and retell the story of the books just over a longer time frame. Which, like, I get the to a degree, where it's like, okay, the movies did compress a lot, so there is more story you could have told there. But may I do a little rant? I don't want. If you had more to say, I'll save my rant.
I want to hear the rant. The one. I definitely want to get to the rant. Just a couple quick things before we get to it, though.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that this is a terrible idea.
Yes.
There seems to be like no creative vision around this. It's just we got to get the IP. It's not like Alfonso Cuarón or someone came in and said, "I have a vision for how we can do this as a TV show." It's just like David Zaslav is thinking, we got to get the IP refinery pumping. We got to get all this stuff moving. And that's not a recipe for a great show. The other thing that comes to mind, of course, is also Amazon buying the rights for Lord of the Rings. Even they knew you do not mess with the thing that people already love and hold to be dear. They did not try to remake the original Peter Jackson films. They set their movie hundreds of years before those films. And so this idea that this show is kind of going to be gunning for essentially the original films in the hearts of fans, I think will create some consternation, because it is very possibly going to be compared unfavorably to those films. Patrick Klepek, any thoughts before we hear Jesse's overall reaction to this?
I worry this is going to be exceedingly popular. Harry Potter is entering like deep in millennial nostalgia territory. They are people that are my age. Like, I turn 40 next year. Like, it was a defining piece of literature and then cinematic films for people in their 20s, 30s, like teens. Like, it spans a long period of time. And in the same way that True Detective Night Country might have garnered a lot of attention, whether it was good or bad, I think it is a safe bet to say Harry Potter, a television series adapting those original books. By 2026, how long has it been between the first film? 15 years?
Yeah.
20 years?
Let's see. The first Harry Potter film was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, November of 2001.
That's a long time ago. If you look at Hogwarts Legacy, which was the exceedingly popular video game that came out at the beginning of last year, that succeeded essentially as being an interactive version of playing the original era. I know it's set before the Harry Potter, but you're exploring a lot of the same thematic ideas, same geography, same feelings as those 7 books, those 8 movies. And so I expect that is a primary motivating factor is nostalgic millennials would love to revisit Harry Potter and would love to be mad about the casting decisions in Harry Potter as they watch it. So I don't defend it on the creative merits, but I understand from the business perspective, especially for the kinds of people that would sit and want to watch that, the appeal. And plus it's far enough away from 2001. Do young kids want to watch a movie from 2001? I don't know, but they might be more inclined to watch a modern television show.
Certainly a 2026 show on Max the one to watch for HBO. They're gonna
We'll get
they're
all
gonna
the
love-
kids.
That's where all the kids go, is what I understand. Max the one to watch for HBO.
On the playground, constantly trading stories about Max.
Jesse, those are just a couple of creative/business thoughts about the new Harry Potter show that's going to debut on Max. But you actually have a very personal history with some of the people behind the show, do you not?
Yeah. I mean, before I get to that, I'll just add my 2 cents quickly into what you two said as well. It's frustrating because I would like if the stuff with JK Rowling aside that I'll get into in a moment did not exist. It's just like there is so much you could do with this world, like beyond just regurgitating the stories we've already seen. Like even the Hogwarts Legacy game, I have issues with that story, but like at least there was some level of like this is somewhere different, doing something different, telling a different story. And I feel like that would have just been way more interesting to me. But you're right, Patrick. It is just trying to get the nostalgia, both positive and negative, because even the people who will hate watch are still watching. So that is very clearly the impulse there. But yeah, just a quick give a rant. I could go on for very long about it, and I don't want to override it. But obviously, you know, as a trans person, JK Rowling's involvement in this project is, and just Harry Potter just in general is always going to be just the thing that overshadows all of it for me. Zaslav has continually, as they were like talking about the show, championed JK Rowling's involvement in the show, which is also weird to me, even beyond the transgender bigotry stuff, because it's just like, how did you not? Clearly he didn't. The Fantastic Beasts movies, where she was the main writer for those movies, and they were a mess of storytelling. So
well, the thing that's also bizarre too is, theoretically, because they are covering the original books, Warner's has more creative control over those than, say, Fantastic Beasts or other prequel material that J.K. Rowling has exerted more control over. The material from the original books is like, Warner Brothers has a lot of cards
leeway with
play.
that. Yeah.
But despite that, there's a story in Wall Street Journal that we'll link to in the show notes about how Zaslav is trying to uncancel J.K. Rowling, and he has continually sought her approval and her guidance and wants her to be a critical part of this new television series with all the good and bad that is going to entail.
Yeah. And kind of going to that uncanceling thing, like I always hate the word canceling because it kind of implies this narrative that she had, and anyone who was canceled has ever lost any real standing, when most of the time it's just them claiming that to be able to frame like, oh, I'm being attacked, so they can then position themselves as like needing to be defended and propped up further. But yeah, I mean, just to quick mention it, like J.K. Rowling has continually for years now been promoting anti-trans bigotry that has led both directly and indirectly to not only governmental policies, both in the United States and UK, that have directly cited her, that are attacking the trans community, such with anti-trans healthcare bills and things like that. But also her rhetoric has directly stoked bigots that have called for direct harm against the trans community. I mean, she's directly promoted folks like Posey Parker, who has done rallies against trans people and called for the death of trans people, and actually led to neo-Nazis marching in New Zealand, where she held a rally. So like she is promoting people that are actively attacking the trans community, and we've seen an increase in violence, both again systemic and individual, against trans people, leading to like the death of a teenager recently in I believe Oklahoma. So that aspect of it is just to continually prop up both J.K. Rowling specifically, but also Harry Potter as a brand is difficult. And while I do understand to a degree people's complicated feelings about Harry Potter, I have my own feelings about Harry Potter. Given that it's controlled by J.K. Rowling, and given that J.K. Rowling directly benefits from it, and she is one of the primary funders of money and also of rhetoric towards a lot of these anti-trans causes, it is deeply frustrating to continually see people like Zaslav. Not that I love Zaslav even beyond this, but see him.
He has been a paragon of virtue prior to this. So.
Yeah, exactly. So to listeners, just to wrap out this, if you do want to, because some of the stuff I'm saying may be surprising to some people about J.K. Rowling who may not paid attention to her bigotry, even though it's a lot of what her Twitter presence is nowadays. I did an article for GameSpot actually a year or so ago around Hogwarts Legacy, that the video game, that goes into a lot of my conflicting feelings and also a lot of this history with J.K. Rowling around that would, I think, equally apply to this Harry Potter show for Warner Brothers. Just replace Hogwarts Legacy with Warner Brothers Harry Potter, and the article I think very much applies. So I will just promote that article and say go check that out because it'll give deeper and more specific thoughts around everything.
Hey everyone, David Chen here. Thank you so much for watching that video from Decoding TV. If you want to get an audio version of the show, all you got to do is go to podcast.decodingtv.com. And if you want to support what we do, get ad-free episodes of the podcast and also bonus episodes of the podcast, go to decodingtv.com and become a paid member. Of course, you can also like and subscribe for more. We appreciate it. Thanks. See you later.